Hey everyone, 大家好. Today we have a controversial topic when it comes to relationships and dating. Does body count matter?
Oh boy, I can't wait to see the comment section on this one.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. We are talking about body count today, but first we have to discuss what is a body count.
The definition is tricky. See,
Yeah.
I don't think in Asia there is even a term for body count. It's more It's more about like how many exes have you had, but body count is a distinctively Western word.
Sounds like
gross.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit.
Obviously, we all know in the broad sense after you've heard the word body count what that means. But just like defining when life begins.
Which is another controversial topic.
No,
not today.
Not touching that.
Nope.
Not touching that. But just like that, it's really hard to actually put a very accurate definition on it. And no matter what definition you try to come up with, someone else will always come up with some sort of exception.
Yes.
You know your body count has went up by one when it happens.
When it happens.
Yeah, like you know.
You know when you know.
For me, it's when the goes in.
How about if right now you hit that like button,
Ooh.
we will tell you what our body counts are. Ready? Come on, hit it.
Do it.
But we're gonna tell you anyway whether you've hit it or not.
Yep.
So I guess I'll start. I'm probably in the range of 5 to 10.
Is it closer to 5 or is it closer to 10?
See, like, if we start arguing about that, then we have to talk about the definition, and then, you know, then it's gonna be a matter of like, hey, does this exact scenario count towards it? You know, I'm just gonna leave it at 5 to 10, okay?
Well, I know what my exact number is, which is 2.
Okay.
And they were fleeting moments within my college years.
And for me, out of the 5 to 10, a lot of them were like long-term relationships. Now that we've told you our body count, why don't you go ahead and leave your body count
Down
and some of your
below.
crazy stories relating to your body count down below. Okay, we can all share it.
Based on the body count of between both of us, we have decided we are going to approach this discussion from the perspectives of a low body count and a high body count.
See,
but even though yours is not honestly that
it's not
big.
that high.
It's not
that high. I guess it's just more like the mileage of each body count that made it seem like I have a lot more experience, but like my actual body count is not even high. I mean, like
I'm
for,
sure
for
there's
Americans,
a lot of Western people are gonna be laughing and chuckling like 5 to 10.
For hookup culture enthusiasts, theirs are gonna be way higher than mine. But I'll play the role of the high body count slut, okay? I'll do it. Imagine I am the devil and she is the angel and we're sitting on your shoulder and let's get in on this pros and cons, okay? Let's start with the high body count, okay? Pro. A big pro is that you're supposed to be, after having all these experiences, you're supposed to be good at it. But I have to say that having a high body count is not synonymous with being good at it. Not all guys with high body counts are good at it, but all guys who are good at it have high body counts. There are plenty of guys who have just essentially
like done it a bunch
with many different girls, okay? Maybe they're just cruising off of their good looks or something like that. And every time that they do it, they just use the same moves and then maybe they're selfish, they just like, they don't care. Let's try to keep it PG-13 here.
Sorry.
How about the term, I'm feeling a little allergic today, so how about sneeze? Let's just say that the guy only cares, only cares if he sneezes or not, but doesn't really care whether the girl sneezes. Because after all, for guys, the whole art of being good at doing it is just whether you can make the girl sneeze or not, right? But for the girl, I guess to be good at it will be, I guess if you wholeheartedly relate to a Cardi B song,
there you go,
then like you're good at it, right?
You're good.
But there is a con to it for sure, okay? So the biggest con to that is that now you have a really high expectation.
Yes.
I have had girls who have hooked up with like pickup artists, you know? I've had girls who have hooked up with like, you know, guys who are just like real sleazy pickup artists. And then they would tell me like, oh, dude, it's like I expected so much more from the guy, you know? And then I've had girls, like I've had an ex who's had like 5 guys before in body count, and she didn't even know how to properly like make out, and you know, so
makes me worried about what her previous encounters were like before.
I know, right? I mean,
those guys were not gentlemen.
Because studies have shown that casual relationships are not as satisfying as a long-term relationship where you kind of like really grow and build that you know, intimacy with that person. So if you have just casually enjoyed a bunch of random hookups, right, you don't really learn that much. You don't really get that good at it.
It's like starting a game over every single time. Like you finish one level and then you restart with a new person every single time.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy. There is the first pros and cons to high body count is that you're supposed to be good at it, right? So, and if you're good at it, that's great.
Good.
But the opposite end is you're expected to be good at it, and if you're not good at it, then people are just like, ugh, disappointed. They have high expectations for you.
On the opposite end of the spectrum here, in the low body count area, you have the innocence that comes with a low body count. It's kind of like exciting for a new partner to find someone who is innocent, maybe inexperienced, and so they get to start telling you like what can be fun, and it's fun experience for everybody, honestly, as long as everybody is happy and consenting and like having a good time. When we first met, I was innocent, inexperienced, and what actually started happening is that we got into arguments over certain acts that I was not ready for, but Mike was like, let's go, let's do this. And because I was so inexperienced, it frightened me. So I was frightened, one, because if I didn't know how to do it correctly, I thought he would get mad and just like, you know.
Which I wouldn't.
No, of course not, but like.
Some teeth is tolerant.
So I was just very fearful and worried that I wasn't gonna learn, I wasn't gonna be good at anything. And it just, the innocence was really something to kind of battle with, because it's the inexperience that made our relationship kind of rocky at the beginning.
I guess that situation applies to people who have an experience gap.
Yeah.
Because if you're both inexperienced, then you just come in and then
you just figure stuff out along the way.
But you know what though? I think girls are always like more inexperienced than guys, because guys like, we review literature. You
ponder the shelves of many, many volumes of these wonderful collections. Yes, men are very well read. And let me get a poll started in the comment section below. Would you guys prefer someone with more innocence or more experience?
Honestly, I think there might be a gender difference in here. Where, you know, like guys always prefer like
more innocence.
More innocence, and then girls probably prefer their men to be like experienced and know what they're doing.
Right. And so the pro is the innocence can be nice, especially for your other partner who maybe is excited that they get to bring you into their world.
Or just kind of like
just to show them the ropes.
Yeah.
The ropes. Sorry. No, the ropes.
How am I supposed to translate that into Chinese in the subtitles?
I will put a picture, okay?
No idioms. No idioms.
And so the con of that is that the inexperience can ruffle some feathers. I'm doing more idioms, aren't I?
Now, let's talk about another kind of obvious pro of having a high body count. It's the kind of confidence that builds you, and the kind of charisma that you kind of exude due to your well-received attractiveness. It's kind of like, and I can think back to my own experience, and for those of you who have a high body count or who have just been popular with the opposite sex, you can probably back me up, is that you start at a young age to realize like, oh, hey, I do well with the opposite sex, right? Like they're attracted to me, then that kind of builds
your character there.
I mean, it becomes part of your character, right? Then you're like, okay, you know, then I should start putting in more effort in myself, but also that kind of that kind of attention and attraction builds your confidence, and that confidence in turn make you even more attractive to the opposite sex. I mean, in the Western world, then that's when they start calling themselves high-value men or high-value women, right? Because it's essentially it's a made-up value, but that value is just essentially how much you appraise yourself for, and if you appraise yourself as, hey, you know, like, hey, I know, like. I got it. Like I know, I got the it factor.
That's
you know,
like
what's that scene in Silicon Valley? He's like, that guy.
This guy. Thank you.
Like if you see a guy who, like you know, it's like, dude, that guy.
That guy. Yeah, you're like, that guy's got it.
But on the opposite end, it becomes sort of a burden on you as well. Especially, let's say in the dating scenes, like in Chinese, right? We call guys who like has had a lot of experience with women, we call them scum man.
Oh, that's a good term.
Yeah, 渣男.
渣男.
Okay? I guess it's that kind of like scummy aura around you that like lets people know like, hey, well in English, you know, they call them boys, right? Like you start to exude this like boy energy that kind of makes you only attractive to girls or scum girls.
Right. Your reputation precedes you. And so it's like if somebody was to see you at a party and like maybe you slept with someone at that party, they're gonna inform the others and say like, don't go near that.
Everybody
don't go.
Like the good old goody two shoes are gonna be like, let's stay away from this guy because that guy is bad news, you know?
The goody two shoes. No, I'm kidding.
That's the pros and cons is it helps you build confidence, but that confidence can become quite greasy and scummy at times.
Next time on Mike and Gwynn.
People with high body counts, how many times have they said, I love you?
He's a weeb, guys. He only knows Japanese.
The word love, I, means nothing to me anymore because I've said it to so many women.
Oh, I can't relate to any breakup songs.
A small form PC where I get to jam a bunch of stuff in really tight places. All for one, she's now water cool.
Stop it! So does body count matter? Hey guys, so this actually turned out to be a really long video. So we decided to do this in 2 parts. So this is the first part and keep an eye out for the second part that will be coming out soon.